is how we get down. I feel good today. What's up, everybody? Welcome in to Coach and Company. We are live on the Stadium Network and everywhere the stadium lives. Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. The list goes on and on. Now, we got a great show for you today over the course of the next 60 minutes. We've got the NBA. We look forward to 2 Saturday games on Wild Card Weekend, and also tonight, game number 2 in the college football playoffs. Now, the bad beats keep coming for me. Now, the rest of the crew, they are solid. But last night, 6 touchdowns, not 7. And how about a touchdown right into the second quarter as well? K1 Lacey, thank you. How about we do that in the first? But that's the way that it goes. Now, news of the day, Miami does beat Ole Miss 31-27 in an instant classic. Shout out to the Rebels last night. An amazing atmosphere down there in Arizona. But Miami now, they will head home to play for the national championship a week from Monday. We break down Oregon and Indiana coming up in about 17 minutes. Also, the drama continues out west. Washington quarterback Damon Williams, he loses his agent yesterday and apparently loses his mojo because the man's going back to play quarterback for the Washington Huskies. His head coach said we had some very, very personal, honest, heartfelt conversations that I'm assuming with a little something like this. Hey, Damon, it's 4 large. Get your ass back in the locker room. Yes, coach. Got it. And that's where we are at right now. He will be the starting quarterback for Washington next year. Now, our schedule today, in addition to the morning show, we have the podcast around 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. Also, if you didn't watch Coach and Bro yesterday, I just looked at the numbers. Man, it is amazing how fast that show is growing. You can watch it on demand, but also my SiriusXM at channel 156 wrestling show every single day, 2 to 4 Eastern time. We're looking forward to tonight. Will Drew McIntyre become the WWE champion and take the company in a new direction? Tune in today for that. All right, housekeeping, it's over. It's time to get after it. The question is, who wants to roll with me? Very interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's beat the books. Oh, my man Big Cheesy says Friday vibes are high right now. You're damn right it is. Look at my team today. Let's start all the way at the end. We've got the 5-pack ready to go. We call it Footy Friday coming up in about 8 minutes live from the Dirty, where yesterday Lane Kiffin got caught on FaceTime talking to the boys from Barstool. Big Chuck, a lot of stuff going on in your neck of the woods.
Morning, Coachman Company. Yeah, you always know there's something going on in the boot. I was unfamiliar with that story. I was getting caught up on it pregame, so hopefully I'll get the rest after we get off. So I'm curious to know how that interaction unfolded. So, yeah, happy to get it going. Plenty of soccer, plenty of football. This is what we live for, right?
You're damn right it is. By the way, my guess is that Lane and those guys that were in the van won't be moving forward together. Now, this man's got the best damn beard in the game. And opinions as well. Soupy, what's good?
Good morning, everybody. The U is back. National championship bound. Last night was an exciting game, I gotta say. Probably one of the best games I've ever watched. But once again, Miami is back in contention for the national championship.
The only thing I hated about last night is that it was such a slow start. 3-0 after the first quarter. But my goodness, after that. And by the way, Kirk Herbstreit, if you're watching this morning, and I know that you are, thank you for your post. He finally said what everybody needs to hear, but it's got to come from a voice like him. Stop the nonsense. What happened last night on the field is what the sport is all about, not this nonsense NIL and all the BS. Now, this man has really started to step up in our universe in front of the camera and behind the camera. Mikey P, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Super quick question. If Miami doesn't win, will you be entering the transfer portal with your family? I'm just asking. It's just the way college sports works nowadays. I'm just curious.
I'm trying to figure out who has a weirder fandom. Big Tommy C, who likes the Celtics, the Yankees and can't remember. And then Soupy, you like Northeast teams, but the U as well?
Yeah, my sister used to work at a clothing store. She brought me home a Miami shirt when I was 6. I loved the shirt, so I fell in love with the team. Simple as that.
That is the weakest reason I've ever heard in my life. Right now, Big Tommy C wearing his Giants jersey is going, what is Subi talking about? All right, boys, I'm fired up. Now, our picks have been really good all week, except for your boys. So I got to pick myself up today. But I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of green check marks. So I have one very simple question. Who won? Mikey, you're like so far behind the game. Soupy, respect. Best bets, go.
Let's start tonight. Dante Moore, 32 plus pass attempts. He needs to rebound after that last matchup against Indiana. Probably one of his worst performances of the year. And without Jordan James, I think he's going to throw more, especially in third and short and goal line situations. And the Raiders are going to be watching this game. Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore, they are potentially the 1 and 2 pick in the draft. I think Moore right now sitting at number 2 on some of these mock drafts. I think he wants to prove that he is the top pick in this draft. And then I'm going to go to the court. Celtics minus 8.5 against the Raptors. The Celtics have covered this in their last 2 matchups. It has a lot to do with the volume shooting. Toronto has not been able to stop the Celtics in that volume, especially against the 3. And Toronto struggles to keep the pace with Boston. They've done that the last 2 games, and that's why I think the Celtics covered tonight.
Soupy, in the chat right now, Helen's Calvo, I always butcher the name. He's here a lot, or she is here a lot, says leave Soupy alone. You have somebody else fighting your battles for you? What's going on?
I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Yes, I can fight my own battles, but it's always good to have a crew with me. It's always good.
Okay, a crew of 1. That's nice. All right, Mikey P, coming over to you, big dog. What do we got today?
Never seen someone who roots for a school Michael Irvin went to needing someone else to defend him. Anyways, Coach, sometimes you tell us here at the brand that you just got to go with a gut. And right now my gut is inflamed because I'm so pissed at the Brooklyn Nets covering minus 1.5 against the Orlando Magic. So I'm going right back to the Brooklyn Nets. I am taking the LA Clippers, where we just go talent for talent. I don't care if it's Ivica Zubac, James Harden, or Kawhi Leonard. I just need one of them to play for the Clippers to cover minus 2.5. And then shout out DG for the Indiana I'm not doing that. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers team total over 26.5. When it comes down to it, this is going to be the biggest game of not only Kurt Cignetti's coaching career, but all of these players on the field. And I think Kurt Cignetti is a coach who loves to make a statement. I think we'll see plenty of points from Indiana tonight.
Yeah, I do too. 50 points in the first matchup in the regular season. I'm hyped for this game tonight. I am hyped for this game tonight. All right, I'm going to go to next, and we are going to cash with the coach today. Damn it. I'm done with the X's. So we're going to start with the Wizards plus 2.5. They are an actually pretty good team right now. Now, I know Philadelphia just blew them out, but the Pelicans on the other side, they've lost all 4 games this month. The 2 away games, they've lost by 19 and 17. And their favorite? Okay, I'll take the 2.5. And then Sixers and the Magic. Both of these teams have become over teams, over 226.5. Now the Sixers, 241, 249, 249, 231. That's their last 4 games. The Magic, 3 of their 4 games this month have gone to the over of this number as well. So I love both of these plays tonight. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 5-1, I predict, is what we're going to go today. Now, any of you that watch us every single day, and we appreciate you, we love you, and we want to expand out. But you know that on Fridays, we look forward to the entire weekend. And 2 of our favorite words, day soccer. It doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday. It just matters that it's there in the day. It's a lot of days. It's time for Footy Friday. All right, Big Chuck, the floor is yours. I want to start with our Saturday lineup. Where are you headed, good sir?
I was fixing to say that's another day. On Saturday, we have the return of the Bundesliga. Stuttgart and Bayer Leverkusen. These are both teams are scoring over 2.5. These are just two of the top four teams cashing this play in the league. Plus, it's come through in 4 of the last 5 for these two. And then we had to go to Italy for a little series. Atalanta, they come in scoring in 7 of their last 8. Torino in 8 straight. I think this is the perfect spot for the both teams to score. I think a 2-1, 1-1 type final score is suitable for this one.
All right, now we move over to Sunday. We have the same 2 leagues, and then we add a little Spain in as well. What do we have there?
And the reason being for the 3 leagues, we have 2 more leagues on vacation. Hopefully they all get back to business here soon. But we're going back to Italy. Fiorentina, they welcome AC Milan to Florence. This is just one of those auto plays. Another both teams to score. It's cashed in 5 straight and 10 of their last 13 meetings. Germany, Bayern Munich, our old friends, Wolfsburg. I think this party starts early with the first half over 1.75 goals. Bayern, they averaged 2.1 team goals at home in the first half alone. Then Spain, La Liga, Levante, Espanyol. The theme of the weekend, the both teams to score. Just don't confuse us when there's 2 more teams who like scoring when they're on the same pitch. They both hit the back of the net in 6 straight of their last meetings.
Every time you say Espanyol, I think of Soupy and what his language would sound like if he was speaking Espanol. Do you ever think that, Chuck?
I just did.
Soupy, do you speak any other language other than partly English?
I took Italian class from 7th grade to college. I don't remember a single word.
You took 6 years of Italian and you don't remember one word? Not one?
I've even been to Italy and I still don't remember anything.
Oh my gosh. I've been to Italy a few times, and we were there on a Monday night. This is no lie. We were there on a Monday night, which apparently is a big club night because it's what they call industry night, like they do in Los Angeles. And let's just say that I walked into a club that at first we didn't really know what we were watching. There was a lot of costumes and stuff, but they had a little hidden room in the back where the VIPs hung out. And Mikey, you would have enjoyed it. I'll just say that. It was me and Edge. Remember Edge, superstar Edge? Yeah, it was me. It was a long time ago. I mean, I was,
How rated R did it get?
the sun was just starting to come up when we were leaving that said club. We had a good time back in the day. All right, we're just getting started, boys. I love our best bets. I love Footy Friday today. Still to come, we've got another college football playoff game tonight. The number 1 team in action. Can Indiana fulfill their dream and meet Miami in the finals? Also, 2 big games on Saturday, including Mikey P's Bears. Can they beat the Packers? We'll talk all about it. And also, it came out yesterday. Check out my new movie. That's right. They put me right at the front of the trailer. It's time to throw those hands. Please welcome Carter Williams.
Another bloody nose.
Hey, that's Spider's life.
It's game time. You know he'd lose his hands if he didn't have me to hold them.
I need Carter to take a fall in the finals.
It's not happening.
You don't think I could take this guy?
He's not human. They're trying to kill you. Carter.
We need help! Come on,
Somebody call an ambulance!
Hurting her is not gonna bring him back.
I fight for myself.
See you soon. I can't wait.
She's got the best hands in the business. That's why she's in there.
Hey, if you guys have nothing to do tonight or this weekend or the game's a blowout, go check out Hands. It is on TV, streaming, all that good stuff right now. By the way, Soupy, very fickle in the chat. Your boy who was just defending you, well, he loved my partly English and put a bunch of laughing emojis next to that. Wow, Soupy, very fickle, very fickle.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all love in the chat.
Once again, the tremendous trash talk from Soupy.
I love everybody.
Get it.
Gentlemen, Mikey, we've been all over this story this week. Damon Williams, he signs a deal, $4 to $5 million. Then he leaves, apparently to go to LSU. Washington threatens to sue. Yesterday, he loses his agent, and all of a sudden, he turns around and goes back to Washington. His head coach said we had some really heartfelt talks. I'm pretty sure how that went. How surprised are you that this is the end result?
Not that surprised. I can't get into the legal mumbo jumbo because I think it might be Soupy speaking partly English if I try to read all of it. But the Big Ten structured their contracts in such way to block these things from happening is the latest I read. But Coach, let's not bury the lead. Imagine Damon Williams, spring football. Hey guys, I was just kidding. There's not going to be a single lineman blocking for him on day one next year.
They better be throwing some NIL money at those said linemen, Soupy, or it could be like that football movie where they all just stood there and said, "Here you go." I can see that happening.
I can see it happening too. This was just a mess that resulted in nothing. You got $4 million. I don't know how much more LSU was willing to pay him, but I don't think of Damon Williams. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think of him as that elite level quarterback at this moment. Maybe he'll prove it to me this year, this coming season, and then maybe next year go to the transfer portal and try to get some more money.
Or not. Or how about stay and play for a team for more than a year, more than 2 years? How about we do that? How about I almost wanted to play Herb Street's thing. It was like 48 seconds this morning on the show. He nailed everything. I'm tired of talking about that. I want to talk about getting back to loyalty and staying at your school. We're back live in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company here on Stadium Network, Prime Video, Direct TV, YouTube TV. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we break down the two wildcard games on Saturday. The Rams in Carolina. Yes, that's being played in Carolina, 8-9. Hello. And then the big one, Packers and the Bears in the Windy City. But college football. And last night, what an amazing atmosphere. What an amazing broadcast. And you had 2 or 3 different ways to watch it. Mikey, I'm going to start with you. You could watch McAfee on the one channel. You could watch Fowler and Herb Street on the other channel. And after all the kind of cobwebs and nerves settled down, you had Beck and Chambliss play really good football. You had defenses flying around the field. That is what a high-level playoff game is supposed to look like.
And Cristobal outcoached Pete Golding on the other side. I think that's really what it comes down to. Miami was more physical. I don't know about you, Coach, but I sat there watching the game going, I'm waiting for Trinidad's big moment. After what he did against Georgia, and you saw those 3 fantastic plays that we'll probably never see again for at least 5 to 10 years that Trinidad made, and they just weren't there. Keywan Lacey hurts his hamstring. That was obvious. So the Hurricanes, and this isn't a knock, but I think Carson Beck may be one of the best college quarterbacks we've ever seen. I don't know that translates to the NFL, but we should take him for what he is in college.
And I think that's across the board. I think this entire class, and I've been saying it about Mendoza, I've been saying it about Beck. There's a lot of quarterbacks that, because there's no clear-cut Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf or any of these guys that were supposed to be locks, we're putting them all soupy at the top, and they're just not, I think, going to be more than maybe really good backups.
We look at the numbers for Mendoza this year and you compare him to other Heisman Trophy winners in the past, it doesn't even come close. Any other year, Mendoza is not even a thought about a Heisman Trophy candidate. But what Carson Beck does well, the experience came through. He didn't make any of those mistakes that he had made in previous games this year, like he did against Louisville, like he did against LSU. Very smart. And that's what they did. They ran the ball and they're playing at the line of scrimmage. A lot of slants, a lot of screens, trusting the blocking. And Malachi Toney, great game. But what you're not going to see on the stat line is some of the blocks that he made for CJ Daniels and Mark Fletcher to convert first downs. That was a key to the game. They kept able to convert third downs and dominate the time of possession.
And you know what's interesting in this world of the portal and players moving all around is Beck left Georgia and everybody was all over him. What are you doing? You're going to go to the U? You're going to leave Georgia and go to the U? And now look, he's playing for a national championship, and Georgia didn't even make it out of the first round, losing to Ole Miss. All right, guys, let's flip it over now to the game tonight. A rematch out of the Big Ten from the regular season when Indiana went to Eugene and laid it on them 30-20, winning by 10. Obviously, they've both come a long way. Indiana had some close calls. Oregon just shut out Texas Tech last week. So I don't know what's going to happen because Alabama just got beat by Indiana, Mikey P, 38-3. So now tonight in Atlanta, Chick-fil-A will be open all throughout the concourse. Life is good. Start me with how you see the handicapping of this game going.
Indiana's got to come out and set the tone. That doesn't mean they have to come out and put up 14 points in the first quarter, Coach. That means they have to establish the trenches. This is a team that I think can dominate Oregon from a physicality standpoint. So when I look at this number at -3.5, I love it for the Hoosiers because one thing we know is Kurt Cignetti will never, ever take his foot off the gas pedal. I think it's glued on there, Coach, to be honest with you. So when I look at this Indiana Hoosiers team, they got to come out strong. Doesn't mean put up all the points. It means establish their identity early. I like the Hoosiers to cover, and I like the over in this game as well.
And I would definitely buy the half point tonight. I like to buy half points in games that are standalones. But I think what the part of the reason this is only 3.5 and not 4 or 5, Soupy, is the defense of Oregon, a little bit of false gold, I think. You know, the first game against James Madison, they took their eye off the ball a little bit, gave up, 30 some odd points. Then they get refocused. But I just don't think Texas Tech and their quarterback played very good. Missed a bunch of throws, wide open guys. And I think that led to the goose egg on the scoreboard, not necessarily playing lights out defense. So now you've got a quarterback who has some really good weapons, and everybody says that Indiana's offensive line is the best in the country. They need to show it tonight.
I think they do. Mike, you said it. This is all about the line of scrimmage. Who can dominate at the line of scrimmage? And I think that Indiana has the advantage on both sides of the ball, the defensive and the offensive lines, because they're going to be able to protect Fernando Mendoza. Oregon has a really good defensive line, but they could not touch Mendoza. And that defensive line of Indiana, they were able to get to Dante Moore. In any other game, Moore was not sacked more than twice. In that game against Indiana, the last one, he was sacked 6 times. Everything that Oregon is good at, Indiana was able to neutralize. The total yards, the passing yards, everything that what made Oregon, put Oregon in this situation, Indiana was able to control in that last matchup. And I think that's what Indiana does. And that's why they're looking really good for tonight.
And there are a lot of props tonight. Normally during the regular season, you don't get a lot of props in college. I think, to be honest, guys, moving forward across sports, you're going to see a lot less props become available. Here's a couple of numbers, Mikey, and I want to know if you had to, which one you would choose. Mendoza, his passing number is 206.5. For Dante Moore, 220.5. The juice is about the same, -115, -120. If you had to, which one would you play to the over?
Dante Moore. I think Indiana can win the game more so on the ground. That's the crazy and scary part of Indiana. Fernando Mendoza could go out and throw for 173 yards, 3 touchdowns, and you lose by 30. So figure that one out. I'm taking Dante Moore on his over tonight.
Soupy, what about you?
There is a head-to-head prop that I have seen between Dante Moore and Mendoza, who's going to throw more passing yards. And I would take Dante Moore because I think they are going to trail in this game. There is no Jordan James for Oregon. It'll just be Noah Winnington in the backfield. So I think they are going to rely on Moore's passing game. And for Mendoza, he's not a downfield passer. He throws a lot of slants, a lot of curls, and a lot of screen passes. So he's not going to get those big yards. That's why I'll take Moore.
So speaking of Mendoza, on our podcast this week and in our conversations that we have privately, me and Mikey P have been at odds. We've been at odds. We've been fighting. We've been like an old divorced couple because, Mikey, you believe Mendoza has the game to be the number one pick in the draft and will be because of the game. I've said, yes, he could be because of the hype. Explain to me how important tonight is, because if you're going to be a number one pick in the draft, if you're going to win the Heisman Trophy with the numbers that do not match up to previous, tonight's the night that he can show all of us and shut me up. What does he have to do?
He's got to win. It really comes down to that for me. I just said he's a quarterback who can beat you at 173 yards passing. And sometimes in today's NFL, that's good enough. Ask the Las Vegas Raiders, who own the number one pick, if they would love to have a quarterback who could throw for less than 200, 3 touchdowns in a win. Fernando Mendoza simply has to put his team on his back, carry them to a statement victory, and he'll lock up the number one pick.
Did you just say that there's an NFL team out there that'd be like, oh, man, this guy can throw for under 200 yards? Check. What? You want a quarterback that can throw for 400 yards and still win when he throws for under 200? I don't know, Mikey. I don't know. Soupy, respond to that.
Yeah, Mikey, I think you're 100% wrong. In today's NFL, passing, it's the emphasis on passing. You cannot throw for under 200 yards and expect to win, especially with a team like the Raiders, who sometimes Geno Smith would throw for 300, 360 yards, and they would still lose by 20. So in this NFL, no, you cannot average 200 yards and expect to win.
I agree. All right, it's time for predictions, boys. Take the spread out of it. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Indiana does win. That 30-20 would cash the over that we saw earlier in the year. I'm going to say it's going to be 30-24, and the over does come in. Mikey, what say you?
38-27 Indiana over Oregon.
Wow, you think they get to 38? So that would cash the team total. That would cash the over. High scoring first half, or do we have a great second half like we had last night?
I think we have a better second half than we do at first.
All right. So we both agree that they will cover. Soupy, what do you say?
I'm going to go 28-24 Indiana. I think this game is tied going into the third quarter, and Indiana has been able to overcome in the fourth quarter, and I think that's what they do in this game.
The one thing to remember is that Indiana reminds me, Mikey, a lot of your Chicago Bears. Not very many teams have a two-headed monster that looks almost identical, right? They've got two guys that if you don't know the numbers, if you don't look at the jersey number, you could swear they're the same guy. I think they lean more on the running game because of that tonight. Do you think Cignetti and that offensive team can be disciplined enough to do that?
Yeah, absolutely, because they have the offensive line to do so. There's a narrative that when you run the ball, you just chew up clock. But if you run the ball effectively and it's big chunk after big chunk, you still have an explosive offense on the ground. And I think Indiana can prove that as well tonight.
Real quick, last night, great atmosphere. I felt like there was a lot of Ole Miss fans, but getting to Phoenix is really, really easy. Getting Oregon to Atlanta, there are direct flights, but who do you think will have the Soupy, the hype advantage or the crowd advantage tonight?
I think it's going to be the Hoosiers. I feel like they are the ones that are traveling well, especially with this being such a magical season for them. I think these fans are excited.
Man, I think they're excited. I think, Mikey, I think we underestimated how many people have the money to go, because last night it was on fire. Oregon's a they've got a lot of wealthy people, Phil Knight as well. But I think Indiana being a 2-hour flight, I think they will dominate that tonight, don't you?
Yeah, and think of all the sports journalists who went to Indiana. They're going to fill the crowd as well. So plenty of eyes, plenty of hype. I think the Hoosiers outweigh Oregon easily in this one.
And I wonder if Mark Cuban will be there tonight. That would be cool. I think he's earned a sideline pass. If the Barstool guys get a sideline pass, Mark Cuban's going to get a sideline pass. All right, still to come on the other side. We're only halfway home here on a Friday. Time to look at Wild Card Weekend. 2 big Saturday games. We'll do that next. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium. All right, gentlemen. The Baltimore Ravens coaching staff that is who was there now that John Harbaugh has been fired, they have come out. Todd Monken, who helps out with the offense, says that it wasn't Lamar Jackson's fault. It was his fault because he did not coach Lamar Jackson correctly. Mikey, this is something you hear in college. Lamar Jackson's been in the pros for a minute. What do you make of this quote?
Yeah, he's not a rookie. And you're not a first-time offensive coordinator, Todd Monken. This is a guy who's won the NFL MVP twice. Hey, Lamar, tell me what you want to do best. All right, hands off. There you go. It's not rocket science to work with Lamar Jackson.
Soupy, your thoughts?
Lamar Jackson is a two-time MVP. What are you talking about, Unico? At this point, Lamar should be the leader. He should be the guy who, in the huddle, is I'm taking over this game when they need to. It's not. It shouldn't be. Hey, Monken, what should I do? What that? Oh wait, I can't hear. No, you are one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Lamar. It should be on you to lead this team.
Charles.
Of course, he's going to take the bullet, but I got to kind of defend Lamar. The kicker missed a kick. That would have put him in the playoffs. Last season, Andrews dropped a 2-point conversion. So he's kind of come through in the clutch, and his players didn't pick him up. So, yeah, he has to take a bullet, but I'll kind of take Lamar's back on this.
I will tell you, I will say this, that sometimes when I see Lamar's face and his reaction, you could argue that it looks like he doesn't care. We know that he does, but the look is almost like, okay, yeah. And I think that's just kind of his personality a little bit, but it doesn't lead to media or fans to want to back him because of when he runs out of bounds or throws it out of bounds. He just simply doesn't look like he gives a damn. And now the Ravens are sitting home, just like we are throughout the playoffs, watching Aaron Rodgers. Let that resonate for a second. Watching Aaron Rodgers, who will be playing on Monday night against the Houston Texans. But we have 2 games on Saturday. Tomorrow it's time to get to it. We're back. 5 seconds. Back, everybody. We are halfway home. If you're watching us live in the East, it's 10:32. If you're out here on the West, just getting out of bed, I can see the sun coming up over the horizon right now. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. Now, what will Saturday look like? Because the Rams, who play exactly 48 miles from where I'm sitting right now, they are already wheels up. They are already heading to Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, this is the same building that earlier this season, when they were flying high, when they were rolling, they went to Carolina and got bounced by Bryce Young and the Panthers. So it begs the question, at 8-9, can the Panthers shock the world again? 4:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow afternoon. So, Mike, I'm going to start with you because this is an example of what a lot of people complain about, that the Rams, who have 12 wins, 4 more than the Panthers, have to go on the road. But it's the way the rules are. But the number is bananas. It was 10 throughout the week. It's moved to 10.5, the total of 46.
I hate to buy half a points, Coach. And I'm not going to, because I think the Rams, listen, the one thing, I don't care about the Rams traveling. I don't care about the Rams having to go to Carolina after they've already done so and they have more wins. The one thing I wouldn't want to do if I'm Carolina is have to go up against a pissed off Sean McVay and a Matthew Stafford who fumbled the MVP trophy. So I like the Rams to put up points, and oh yeah, more points. Bryce Young's not going to move this offense at all. I think the Rams win by at least 17 points.
I think there's a lot of people, Mikey, that feel the same way that you do. And I don't know, Soupy, if I've ever seen a team, and I'm talking about the Panthers right now, that have been more Jekyll and Hyde in a season, not finish over 500, make the playoffs, get a home game, and are 10.5-point dogs. Make this make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me, but what I think the Rams need to do, they're going to get off to a fast start. I think we're going to see a lot of explosive plays from Stafford to Nakua and Adams because they want that lead, because they want Bryce Young to throw the ball. Because if you put it in Bryce Young's arms, he is going to fail like he's done so many times. And with that Rams defensive front, they are going to put pressure on him all day. As good as a scrambler as Young is, I don't think he's going to be able to get past them. I think McVay, with revenge on his mind, with the knowledge from the last game, the mistakes they made, I think that the Rams are ready to roll.
You know the image I had in my head, guys? You know when you have these January, kind of cold. I know it's Charlotte, but kind of cold. The game starts at 4:30. It's going to be dark about 45 minutes in, and you just have that late afternoon, Chuck, early evening, knowing the marquee game is coming, and it just kind of starts to drag because nobody wants to be there. The stadium is empty late third quarter because the Rams are up by a lot. That's the vision I had when I was sleeping last night. What vision have you had, Chuck?
This one definitely has blowout potential. I think the Rams are going to be more focused. Last time they were coming off a big primetime victory, short week. They potentially overlooked this Carolina team. I think McVay and the group are going to be super focused. I don't think they could probably make that number big enough. Imagine what it would be if they were playing in LA if it's 10.5 on the road. But I think the defense shows up for the Rams. The Panthers benefited from a couple turnovers last time also in this meeting. Think the Rams show up, win big, defense shows out. Look at the team total under for the Panthers also.
Yeah, I actually thought about that, but I didn't look at what it was. But I think that's a really, really good look by you, Chuck. Real quick, Mikey, when it comes to props in wild card games, I don't think there's a weekend where getting in and getting out is more important than this weekend. Would you touch anything in this game?
Yes, and his name is Puka Nakua, because we just talked about the revenge factor for Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. Coach, I wanted to say it in my first take, so I'll say it here. I predict 200 yards receiving for Puka Nakua, and not one, but 2 touchdowns.
Soupy, you know how I feel about people drinking before they come onto the show as a talent. So I'll address Mikey later. But I think in order to get to said 200 yards, Davante Adams is going to have to be healthy. He's going to be out on the field a lot, and he is the difference because Puka's going to do what Puka does. But if you have Davante on the other side, even a light-skinned Davante would do something for me. How important do you think Davante is to Puka's yardage?
I mean, we saw Puka go off without Adams in the lineup in these last 2 games. But yeah, it's very important because Dante Adams can play that decoy for Nakua. I actually think it's going to be more of a Kyron Williams game. I don't trust this Panthers run defense. And I think that Stafford and that offense, they're going to go up big early and they're going to rely on Kyron and to kind of bleed that clock and dominate the time possession. So I'm looking at Kyron Williams props for this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat that agree with us. Rams, Puka, Davante Adams. I think as a universe, we're on the same page. Now, let's flip it over to the late game. And Chuck, I got to start with you because I need a sane take before I get over to Mikey P. The Bears, this has been their year. And we've seen stories like this before where you get your quarterback, you get your head coach, you have a great season, and then it all ends in playoff game number 1. In fact, just a year ago, see Minnesota Vikings exit stage left. So now, Big Chuck, this is essentially a pick'em game. But as we look at the spread, the books believe the Packers with a healthy or moderately healthy Jordan Love are better than Caleb Williams and the Bears. This one in the regular season, 2 times, awesome games. What do you see tomorrow?
I think we have another instant classic potentially in this one. I think it all depends on Jordan Love's health. I'm backing this Packers team again. I backed them last time, lost in a heartbreaker, but I'm going right back to the well with them. I think this is the ultimate revenge spot. Plus the Packers, they just traditionally own the Bears team. I think we see another defensive battle. I'm going to go with the Packers, probably maybe a field goal game and a low scoring Packers in the under.
Packers and the under. Now, Let's come over to our young man who is wearing one of his 18 Chicago Bears hats that he has in his closet. All year, I will give you credit, Mikey. You have kept your emotions under wraps, other than a couple of posts here and there and maybe a tattoo on your back. But now it all comes down to this: win or you go home. Your take.
I'll be very honest here, Coach. I've seen this story before. 2018, Matt Nagy, Mitch Trubisky, they won the NFC North, and then they got bounced on a double doink. I don't think that happens. Forecast calls for wind and snow at Soldier Field. So you know what that means? The Iceman cometh. Yes, the Bears have a great run game, the third best in the NFL. They need to establish that, not lean on it, establish the run in order to get off to a good start offensively. Ben Johnson's not happy with the offense. Caleb Williams not happy with the offense. No worries. The Packers got Trevon Diggs, good enough to be burnt toast on January 10th.
I will say this, that part of the reason I'm leaning towards the Bears is that the Packers under Mr. LaFleur, they've been a playoff team, no doubt about it, but they never win. They get there every single year, but they don't win. So, with that history in mind, Soupy, can the Bears fulfill their destiny and win tomorrow at home?
I think you're dense if you think the Bears are going to win. If Jordan Love plays in that last game, if he's not knocked out of that game, I think the Packers sweep the Bears this year. And Caleb Williams would have had terrible stats in that last matchup. Take away that 46-yard touchdown. He only throws for 206 yards and a touchdown. I think that Packers defensive line, while they didn't sack Caleb Williams in the previous matchup, they pressured him a lot. And I think they are going to up that pressure in this game. They are going to make him feel tight. If they establish the run game, that would be their best way to try to open things up. But I don't think they will. I think this is going to be a tough game for Swift and Manangai. And I think the Packers win.
Don't try to brag like you know how to pronounce that name or spell it. All right, I don't even want to go there. Big Chuck, all we have to do is go back a week. Last week, the Bears had a chance. They had a chance. And if not for the Eagles being idiots, they would not be the 2 seed. They scored donuts through 3 quarters and then had a fourth quarter comeback only to see Detroit kick a game-winning field goal. Do you think that performance will have anything to do with this performance?
I certainly think it has legs. It could certainly carry over that. I thought the Lions game was going to be a tough spot for them, and I thought they could potentially overlook Detroit coming to town. Yeah, I think it has potential carryover against this Packer team, which I don't think it's really going to matter because I still like the Packers to beat them regardless.
All right, Mikey. Did you guys notice that? Did you notice that? Oh, yeah, you're doing it right now. When Mikey is pissed or when he hears something that he doesn't want to hear, then his lips go a certain way because he wants to say something, but then he doesn't say something. Tell me I'm wrong, Mikey.
That's not what's happening, Coach. I'm trying to contain my excitement.
No.
Because the one thing none of us have mentioned, and myself included, Roma Dunze back on the field. Haven't seen him in 5 weeks. Kyler Gordon back on the field for the Bears. This team is getting healthy at the right time, and I'll just wait and see Saturday night.
So that's your way of saying you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Fine, I'm wrong. I'm
saying that you're saying that I'm wrong and that Chuck's wrong.
I would never say that.
Well, Soupy, I feel like right now his emotions are everywhere. Like right now, I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there. It's sticking. He's doing the, I want to say it. I want to say it. I want to hit the tattoo on my upper back. That's what I want to do right now. All right, boys. Go ahead, Soupy.
I was going to say, it looks like his motions are like a shaken up soda bottle right now, and he just wants to open the cap and explode.
All right, Mikey, I'll give you the final 20 seconds. How do you think the game plays out tomorrow?
I'm more nervous than I have been in a very long time, since 2006. Why? Not because I think the Bears are a team of destiny, but because they have a lot of holes. Defense, most importantly. This doesn't come down to Ben Johnson. It comes down to defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. If he can contain Jordan Love, I think the Bears have a chance.
I don't even know why you're worried about the defense. They only gave up 42 to the 49ers.
All right.
All right, still to come. It's time to talk a little NBA. We showcase 2 big games tonight. Also, we recap our best bets as we lock it in. This is Coaching Company. It's a vibe right here on Stadium. All right, boys, I don't know if there's ever been a player that is connected less with a university, Oklahoma, or a city, Atlanta, than Trae Young. But he did suck them in to giving him basically a max contract, $45 million a year. But then Soupy, he pins a farewell to the city, embracing his trade to Washington, when we all know he was the one who wanted it. He was the one that wanted out of town. Are we looking at Jordan Poole 2.0?
I don't think he's going to be with Washington that long. I think they're just setting up for an even bigger trade. He's a great spectacle. He's going to bring fans to the seats. And I think for Washington, that's all they can do right now because they are not competing for anything. I don't see Trae Young playing for the Wizards longer than this year.
Chuck, what about you?
I think he's got 2 years left on his contract. Plus, this is the general manager that drafted him, so he wanted to actually go play with the Wizards. I think it has a young nucleus around him. I think he actually wants to be in Washington.
I am so tired of players like this that aren't team players. They're not championship players. And Mikey, I know they want to sell tickets and sell jerseys and all of that, but at what point do franchises say, can we build a team and not individuals?
Coach, I'm more perplexed that you would question Trae Young's commitment to Arizona or Atlanta. Did he not say goodbye to DC Youngboy on his way out? Isn't that the rapper that he shook up with? Kind of ironic. His name is DC. Listen, Trae Young is not a guy you can build an NBA franchise around. He's nice to put on pamphlets, but that's about all you can do with him.
Doesn't play. I don't understand the. I mean, I do. Obviously I do. But man, by the way, Big Cheesy in the chat, Mikey says, I will never understand Kiss Up Mountain.
2 words: job security.
We are working on that. We had a little bit of a hiccup over the holidays because just lack of hands, but that shirt will be coming out with 2 other new pieces of merch as well. Don't worry, Big Cheese. We'll get you one. All right, it's time to talk NBA. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We lock it in, recap our best bets coming up in about 5 minutes. But right now is where we focus on a couple of NBA games tonight, a full slate in the association. And, Mikey, let's start with this one. The Sixers are now starting to, I think, figure out how to play with or without Joel Embiid. They're turning into a scoring machine. Maxi's turning into one of the top players in the NBA. But the Magic are also a winning basketball team now. You see the numbers. I love the total tonight at 226.5. What say you?
Yeah, I love the over in this game as well. The Sixers, Joel Embiid questionable. So that's another one of those 4 o'clock Eastern. Check the injury reports for this one. In or out, I love the over in this one. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. And on the other side, when are we going to see the Magic really put it together without Franz Wagner? No Jalen Suggs. Anthony Black is a guy I love a player prop bet on tonight.
I'm so glad also you mentioned Edgecombe because, Chuck, this is a rookie that can jump out of the gym, and he seems to be a great B to Maxey's A.
Absolutely dynamic duo, the Sixers, and they've seemed to find something. They're on a nice little winning streak here. Plus, they own this Orlando team. I'm kind of liking the 76ers and this line going up. That's potentially telling you that they might have a full, healthy starting 5. But I kind of disagree. I like the more of a defensive battle here. I think maybe we see the under come in with the 76ers is my correlation.
All right, that's fair. Soupy, what about you?
Yeah, the 76ers right now, they've been scoring 120 like we're just standing here doing nothing. That's how good this offense has been. And I feel bad for Orlando because I do think that this is a good roster. The problem is is this roster is never on the court. Wagner's been hurt. Moncaro's been hurt. And I think that's going to affect right now the Magic, who have been trading wins and losses over the last few games. And that's why I like the over, but I like the 76ers to cover.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're never on the floor together. You can't get a flow. You just can't get a flow. All right, game number 2. And you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for LeBron James, because apparently all these injuries, they're just really keeping him up and keeping him in the trainer's room and kept him out of the back-to-back after a 30-point damn near triple-double. Stop it. Just stop it with the multiple injuries. He will be in the lineup tonight. They're favored by 3.5. Hopefully Giannis will play. He's been in the lineup more than less as of late. But, Mikey, you just never know with these stars these days in the NBA.
Coach, is LeBron James the first player in NBA history to be listed on the injury report with foot and sciatica as his injury? This guy just continues to make history. I like the Lakers in this one, and it was so funny to me coming into this Friday marquee matchup that Giannis says, I would never ask for a trade. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. I digress. I like the Lakers in this one. I like the Lakers to cover. I like the over.
Charles, this Lakers team is so different when LeBron's in and when he's out. I mean, if he wasn't playing, this would probably be a pick'em. It's been crazy to watch the splits depending on the King being in the lineup.
Definitely him being in the lineup, but I still go back to Reeves not being in the lineup. I still say he's the X factor on this team. Once they get him back, I think the Lakers will start clicking. That's why I'm liking the Bucks. Also, I like the Bucks in this spot as road dogs, and I was leaning towards the over. I'm kind of waffling and was kind of leaning towards the over. It depends on who plays, but as of right now, Bucks in the over for me. I think the Milwaukee comes in and chalks one up as road dogs.
Yeah, I believe Austin Reeves is still averaging over 26 points a game the last time I checked. Soupy, final take.
I think that Giannis might be too distracted. He's going to look up these rafters and say, I cannot wait for play for this purple and gold. How do I not ask for a trade, but how do I get someone to ask me to be traded here? I think the Lakers win with LeBron, whether he's in a walker or playing on a wheelchair.
I tell you what, he had some really nice hops the other day. He had some great dunks. I would love to see. I would love for them to figure out financially how you do it, because the NBA, obviously, you got to be within 15%. You can't just trade Mikey P for Soupy and not look at the salaries. So it's different than in the NFL or MLB. Why, you think you'd be higher than Soupy, Mikey?
No, obviously. Coach, come on.
I don't know.
I'm on the Trey Young side of this thing. All right.
All right. It's time for a good, great day with our picks. Let's lock it in. All right, boys, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Soupy, start us off.
Dante Moore, 32 plus pass attempts. This is a game that he needs to prove that he is a top pick when the guy on the other side is projected as the top pick. So I think that if Oregon wins, they got to rely on his arm. And I'm taking the Celtics minus 8.5. Toronto just does not know how to keep up with the Celtics volume shooting. And I think that's why the Celtics have covered in both matchups this year.
Mikey P.
Give me the Indiana Hoosiers team total over 26.5. I don't think Kurt Signetti takes his foot off the gas pedal in this one. He wants to send a statement. I think statement will be made tonight against Oregon. And then the LA Clippers on the road in Brooklyn. I keep losing on bad beats to the Brooklyn Nets, coach, so I'm sick of it. I need Clippers and Kawhi Leonard to carry minus 2.5.
All right, and if you're going to cash with the coach, I'm getting off the schneid tonight. I like the Wizards, plus 2.5. The Pelicans have lost 4 straight in the month of January. They've lost 2 of those on the road by 19 and 17. And they're road favorites tonight somehow. Then the Sixers and the Magic. We just talked about it, over 226.5. Both of these teams, Magic 3 out of 4 this month, have gone over this number, and the Sixers have been flying over this number in their last 4. 231, the lowest total for the Wizards in their last 4. All right, Big Chuck, Footy Friday, go.
Saturday, Germany, the return of the Bundesliga, Leverkusen, Stuttgart. The both teams are scoring over 2.5. I think we see a 2-1, 2-2 type final score. Then Italy, Serie Atalanta, Torino, the both teams have scored. Both teams coming in on solid scoring streaks. Then we go to Sunday, Serie A, one more time, take two. Fiorentina welcome AC Milan to Florence. One more both teams to score. This is just an auto play between these two. Return to the Bundesliga, our favorite team, Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg. We get the party started early. First half over 1.75. And lastly, Spain, La Liga, Levante, Espanyol, the theme of the weekend. One more both teams to score that's cashing 6 straight between these two.
You use the term early. Out here, Bundesliga starts at 6:30 a.m. On Saturdays. It's super, super, super early. All right, we've got a little conflict going on in the chat with, we got a couple minutes left here. Our boy Helen, he's all over the place today. He's back in Soupy, then he's all over Soupy. Now he's going after Mikey P. He says, Coach, keep that Kiss Up Mountain shirt on the stand. Not everybody is a fan of Kiss Up Mountain. Very interesting. And then one of our own, Friendly Fire, DG, is all over both of you for how you're saying Wagner. Soupy, he says that you're saying it consistently incorrect. Your response to DG?
DG, do you not know me? Do you not know I say things inconsistently incorrect? Like, come on, dude. Get off my gimmick infringement.
That's gimmick infringement. Get off my gimmick. Mikey, I felt like you were kind of coupled in there with DG's assessment.
Well, DG has something to say about the way I pronunciate or enunciate words. Wow, that was terrible. Address me by name.
All right, DG, you have a point. You clearly have a point. Gentlemen, great job today. Have a great weekend. Producer man, you know what time it is. Give me that one shot. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world. Be kind to one another. Be nice to each other. Enjoy the weekend, whether it's football tonight, football tomorrow, soccer, whatever it is, basketball. Just enjoy it. And like Herb Street said, let's remember what it's all about, the games and enjoying the game. So with all that being said, at the end of the week, I love this one. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire team, love them all. Mikey P, Soupy, Big Chuck, producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like freaking $1 million, and DG taking shots in the chat as well. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track we grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day. This is Coach and Company, live as always, right here on Stadium. Have a great weekend.